Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this channel, I make videos about gardening, cooking and home decor. If you are visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe. In this video, we are going to see how to grow lots and lots of tomatoes. I'm going to share 5 great tips to grow tomatoes successfully. If you follow these 5 tips and with little maintenance, you can harvest tons of tomatoes in your backyard or in your terrace garden. You can grow tomatoes in the ground directly or in a container. If you are choosing a container, the container size is very important. You need at least a 5-gallon bucket for one tomato plant. If you plant it in a small container, definitely it will affect the growth of the tomato plant and the yield. After choosing a right container, you need to make sure there are holes in the bottom of the container. The holes will allow the excess water to drain easily. You can get these 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot or Lowe's for a lower price. You can also grow tomatoes in a 5 to 10-gallon grow bags as well. The second tip is the transplantation. When your seedlings are 6 inches to 10 inches tall, you can transplant it to their final destination. You can remove the lower leaves and you need to transplant it as deep as possible. When you transplant it deeper, more roots will grow and the plant will be stronger. If you see the lower part of the stem, there are some hairy texture. They are nothing but the roots. So when you plant it deeper, the roots will grow in all this place and the plant will become very strong. When you're transplanting, make sure you loosen the roots before transplanting. The third important tip is the potting soil. Tomato requires a fertile soil for a good growth and yield. You can make your own potting mix by adding 1 part of garden soil, 1 part of compost and 1 part of peat moss or coco peat. You can also buy a good quality organic potting soil from any nearby nursery. I digged almost 6 to 10 inches deep and I am transplanting the tomato plant. I am also adding the remaining potting mix on top of it. Leave some space on the very top layer so that in the future you can add some compost when it is in flowering stage. I'm going to transplant some of the seedlings in the ground directly. If you see, I have loosened the soil in this area and added some compost to it. Now I'm going to transplant the tomato plants. So as I said earlier, you can remove all the lower part of the leaves before transplanting because we are going to transplant as deep as possible. Make sure the tomato leaves doesn't touch the ground when you are transplanting because it could infect the tomato plant if the leaves touches the ground. The fourth important tip is watering your tomato plant. You need to make sure you don't overwater or underwater your tomato plants. You can water the tomato plants when the upper layer of the soil is dry. You can water until the excess water drains from the bottom of the pot. That way you know you have provided enough water to the plants. The next important tip is the pruning of tomato plants. If you see, there is a stem in between the main stem and the side stem. This is called sucker and you need to remove the suckers for a good growth of the tomato plant. In a couple of weeks after transplanting the tomato seedlings, you will start seeing buds and the flowers. If you want, you can add compost every 15 days once. I usually add homemade fertilizers like banana peel or egg peel fertilizer. This is one of the tomato plant I planted in the ground. If you see, there are hundreds of flowers and I am expecting a good yield from this tomato plant. This is the celebrity tomato I am growing in a pot. After transplanting the tomato seedling, it will take anywhere between 50 to 60 days to harvest tomatoes. Finally, it's time to harvest. If you see, these celebrity tomatoes are ripened and they are bright red in color. I can't wait to harvest these tomatoes from my garden. You can grow lots of tomatoes at home using these 5 simple tips. Tomato plant likes warm weather. Make sure it gets at least 6 hours of direct sunlight. You can grow tomatoes in a container in your terrace or in your balcony, or if you have a backyard, it's better to grow tomatoes in the ground. I hope this video is helpful for you. Please like, share it with your family and friends and subscribe to my channel. Happy gardening. Thank you for watching.